listening to Reset Race. You now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. What? Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. AOC need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake. Lineage go back to U.S. Southern plantations. Lineage, Jim Crow and mass incarceration. Redline and lynchings. We are old from this nation. You're not about justice if you ain't for reparations. MG the wise one. Cousin mother intellectual. Samantha bringing fire. Anti-black we pressing you. No permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The backbone of the country. To win you need our energy. You gon' see. Listening to Reset Race. You now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. AOC need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake.
Welcome to Reset Race, where we talk about race and help you view race, how it actually functions in the real world, not so all this BS that you hear and that you've been taught by our sorry educational system here in the United States, and all the bullshit that's been exported from the United States about who and what we are as Black people in the United States. So with that said, we're gonna talk. I'm Michael Graham from Actify Press. Did I say that? It don't matter. I said it again if I did say it. So anyway, I'm gonna introduce you to our illustrious panel, who is awesome, right? And we do ladies first around here. All right, Sam.
All right. So I am Samantha Angelique. You can find me on Twitter at me 17 trillion or at me 27 trillion. And you can find me at the Clubhouse at me 27 trillion. And I could definitely use some more interesting conversation on there. So if you're on Clubhouse, please follow me. And that's it. That's all. We got so much going
Shots
on.
fired.
Yeah, what? I'm just saying. No, it's not shots fired.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm just tired of I need other types of conversations. Like the conversations that I'm interested in having aren't being had right now. And none of y'all Negroes are on it. So
I told you I ain't got an iPhone. I'm trying to find a cheap one.
Here where people want to talk about B when I want to talk about this. So I need other people who can actually have that conversation.
I'm trying to find a cheap old raggedy old used iPhone.
Yeah, like eBay or something. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, John, what you got, man? Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, what's going on? It's John C. You can follow me on Twitter at John Danny OC. And I don't got an iPhone. Like I can't afford that shit. You know I'm broke, man. I'm broke as hell.
Sam.
Because you know damn well they gonna have the iPhone 1. I can get the iPhone 1. That shit ain't gonna connect the Clubhouse, Sam. I'm trying. This shit rough for a minute. Anyway, with my fam, man.
Okay, so I get one of these days, I guess they'll extend it to everybody. Y'all just gonna be super late.
Yeah, I know.
Going CP time, Sam. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Nah, for sure. Let's get into it. Let's get back to the grill, man.
All right, John. Thank you. Mud, come on, man. Talk to me. Talk to us.
What's up? They call me Mud. You can find me on Twitter at Of Lineage. Bitter Dose TV. I think we're just going to relaunch it and just, bring everything together. So don't even worry about, that YouTube channel. Come subscribe over to Reset Race or Actify Press, and you'll get more of my solo work along with my work with the crew.
Bet. That's good news for us, man. That's good news. And it's good news for the fans because we kind of centralizing things. And we're gonna talk John into doing some fuck shit too. Just to All right.
Don't I do enough already, man?
we gonna let you slide a little bit longer. But how long? But you out of school for a little bit, so I'm about to work you while you on vacation. Because you talking about going to school in the winter too.
Hey, see that sister
Yeah,
always
I said
trying to work a brother. Ain't
you
that
can't
about
slide
you?
with Sam.
I'm getting the class now. I'm taking the class.
Get away from Sam. I be trying to hide from Sam, but she gets you.
Sam always trying to work a brother. God damn.
Y'all should see me. I'm just sitting here shaking my head like.
She like, Nick, I'm trying to put you to work, Negro. What you talking about? At school, like school over? Nah, that means it's time to
I
go to
told
work.
y'all we need reparations from Sam. We need Sam reparations.
Damn, sis.
Okay, let's get this mess going.
All right,
Let's
so
get this mess
now we're gonna get this thing started. This is about an episode of Ben Dixon's new show, his morning show. What's it called? What's the name of that show?
Hold on. I just had it up on my YouTube. Give me a second. It was like thirst trap.
Oh yeah, Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap.
Yeah, clickbait
right.
Political Thirst Trap or something like that.
Yeah. Now, for those of you that don't know, full disclosure, I used to work for Ben over at. He recruited me into writing for Progressive Army back when I started back in 2015. And also, I mean, we were friends for a while there. We haven't spoken in a long time, so just to let you know,
be friends after this.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's the thing about us. We tell the truth, and people don't have to like it. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, the truth. We tell the truth. Mitch Green.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Will Smith got to play that role. Tell the truth. Like that was terrible.
Tell the truth.
That was terrible. I'm with them on the Africans. They want that role back. They should have to reshoot that whole thing with an African. Sorry, go ahead.
That's a role African brothers should take back. I cuss Will Smith's ass out.
Definitely take it back.
Yeah, you can have that one. All right. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and get started. Anybody got any disclaimers other than me for this one?
Sorry.
Remix. Oh, sorry.
Right? My bad. I was going through because I got a feeling.
I thought we were just doing the last 30 minutes.
We are.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't know. Oh, how long it's been on? My bad, homie.
Yeah, how long that show has been on, because I have a feeling. Do you have the same feeling, MG? I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I got a feeling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, do you want me to go into it?
You can, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Mud.
This nigga is a swagger jacker. He's been copying.
Swagger jacker.
He's been copying our whole
single white female
thing.
Single white female shit.
He's stealing.
Swagger jacker.
Yeah, he's stealing.
Some single white female. Like where
he's stealing.
Y'all remember that movie? Yeah. Shit. If you ain't seen that shit, you gotta go back. That shit's a classic. So okay, let's let it play, and I guess at the end we'll rip into him about being a thief. Well, not really a thief, but because he didn't even do it well. Like he didn't even do it well.
But what we do is, like, we talked about it before, but what we do is natural. It's based in analysis. It's based in an analysis that, especially when it comes to reparations and race and ethnicity and nationality, it's based in a totally different level of analysis the rest of the left is on. Right. The rest of American media, for that matter. Right. We're on a totally different plane. Right. They're saying they end up saying things that we've already hashed out months ago, maybe even years ago. So it is what it is.
Yep. Well, welcome to the grill, Ben. I told you I tweeted at you. I slid into your comments on this one. So I let you know that you was about to get roasted. And yes.
Take this Christmas moment to discuss exactly what is going on with you and Jimmy Dore. No, you don't want
not to. Really. No, fuck him. Ain't everybody like him. Everybody with them. I know I do want to say this, fuck him and everybody who's with them, everybody who's on his side, everyone who thinks that way, fuck you and your mama too. I don't give a damn. You ain't stopping me. Squirrel game.
Let me interrupt.
And what I have to say is I am so mad that Ben did this fuck ass video, and I got to get on here and cape for motherfucking Jimmy Dore, which I like.
In this case, Jimmy's right. That's the problem.
No. This is the thing. This is the thing. Don't get it twisted. I like Jimmy, but we have all said that Jimmy could do more to push reparations and actually to deal with Black issues. Because he talks a lot about our struggle, but then he moves it into a whole working class thing. And I'm all for workers, but when 50% of your men are unemployed, do they still count as workers? Like they need a damn job. Can we get these people a job? So so that's my issue with Jimmy. Outside of that, I think Jimmy is spot on this. I really do, because you have to put power, you have to make power afraid of you. And Ben doesn't understand that, and it's not that complicated. But let's go ahead and play a little bit of this. They're gonna make me pull out my Chris Hedges clip too.
Crack corn, who gives a fuck? I hate that guy, man. I listen. He wasn't even on my radar until he started coming.
Jimmy Crack Corn, who gives a fuck? I hate that guy, man. I listen. He wasn't even on my radar until he started coming for my people. Like, dude is a cornball. The shit he did, like, and I ain't just talking about my people, like people I like the people in Congress. I like those sisters and brothers that are part of the squad. I do like them a lot. But I'm talking about when his people start coming for y'all on some shit, man, I will. They don't know. They don't understand, dog. I will troll your site from 4 a.m. until 4 a.m. the next day. Finding, man, I am the worst. Stop.
At me 17 trillion. At me 17 trillion.
Now I gotta
at me
I gotta
17 trillion
for this fight.
Like I don't. And then there was some dude with like some blonde hair here and black everywhere else, trying to go along with like how right Jimmy, like, oh, people are upset that he told Congress folk to do this and to do that. No, man, like the shit was not. There's no strategy. There's no political thought.
You know what?
He was asking those people to do.
He was
asking people to sacrifice their
political capital.
Political capital for a dumbass, unthought out strategy. And let's
stop right there.
Political capital that was given to them by the people. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, MG.
But once they enter DC, what fucking political capital? The only political capital only political capital that they have now. We just saw this. Okay, this hindsight for now for us. We just saw that AOC got clubbed over the head for a fucking seat, right? For
like a baby seal.
Like a baby seal, right? So they got her in a bag and dragging her back to the truck, right? So they have no political capital in DC. All they have is the leverage that they can push, right? And right now they have a lot of leverage because of the thin margin between Republicans and Democrats in the House right now, right? If they don't use that leverage, they're gonna get bullied over for the next 2 years, and then when it happens again, the 2 years after that, right? So I mean, it is what it is. Anybody else got anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, like even if it is a losing strategy, like you got to apply pressure somewhere. If you're just gonna roll over all the time, then what the fuck is the point?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, this is the Democrats all over again. We're gonna keep our powder dry. You know what I mean?
it's wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all a show. Like
it's all absolutely all a show. John, what you got? I'm sorry, Sam. Were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, I say this all the time, and I've been saying it for the past 2 years. Acknowledgement is not advocacy. Yeah, just because you acknowledge the problem on Twitter, that does not mean you are advocating it where it matters.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Because the Democratic Party says Black, and actually we forced them to start saying Black, but they don't. So they know how to say our name, but they don't advocate for us because they ain't giving a shit. Mm-hmm. So acknowledgement is not advocacy. Everybody remember that. Just because I acknowledge you, like I can acknowledge that you don't want me to keep slapping you in the face, but if I don't stop slapping you in the face,
you're advocating for my face to be safe. Yeah. John, go ahead, John.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree with what everybody just said. Like, you know, I ain't the biggest fan of Jimmy Dore. Like, y'all know why. Like, on one of these episodes, we gonna get him. But I mean, I think his point is valid. His point is valid. Like, you gotta apply pressure. You can't. They just sitting there, just being talking heads. Just, you know what I mean? Just filling up space. Not even trying to bust no moves for they people to. Mm-hmm. I feel like we telling the progressives how to move, and you know we don't like them motherfuckers. This is this show about. Like, we trying to get these motherfuckers on board with our agenda. So like,
exactly.
But even if you trying to get Medicare for all, like when you going to do it? Like, you feel like when you going to do it? Like,
yeah, I mean, exactly.
I mean, like these motherfuckers, and I also feel like Ben Dixon, like I feel like a lot of people on the left attacking Jimmy right now, and that's the way for him to kind of get. I seen him on TYT, I seen him on CMC to talk.
Yeah,
you know
he's trying to elevate his whole position. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He talking about Jimmy and he doing the same shit.
He is being a Pokemon. Real time, like they setting him up to be a Pokemon. And let's get more into it, though. You right, Sam.
Yo, before you, John, I've never heard anybody call them Pokemon. And now all of a sudden this fool using the word. I never heard anybody outside of you call them Pokemon. Have you?
And I'm old. It took me a minute to catch on what he meant by it. Like, oh, okay, now it took me a minute.
But you get what I'm saying? Have you ever heard anybody refer to them like that?
Nah, that's the first thing when I heard this shit and I heard him say Pokemon, I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, Ben, y'all listening to us, bro? Come on, you can tell us you like this. You can tell us you like this. It's all right.
And I have a feeling that this is them trying to bite our show, but they just don't have the same, like, it ain't got energy.
Yeah, but again, we're definitely on a different level of analysis, right? Because we've been in these ADOS circles. No matter how you feel about Yvette and Tone and the people around them, the analysis of race, ethnicity, reparations, nationality, we're on a different level. I mean, it is what
we really are.
It is what it is. Some people are going to be offended by that, but I honestly, I don't care. Right. But it is what it is.
At me 17 trillion.
Nobody can add me. Email me at actifiedpress@gmail.com.
I also think it's not even just like what we're saying. It's like also like these motherfuckers aren't convincing. He's talking tough. They're talking tough. And I don't believe a single word of it. Like, I'm not, like, Jimmy Dore doesn't give a fuck after hearing this shit. No one that hears these motherfuckers talk tough is, like, scared about what the fuck they gonna do. Because it doesn't even sound convincing. They don't believe it themselves. Like, I can look in their faces and I know they don't even believe it. They're just talking.
Don't believe you. You need more people. And they need a lot of motherfucking people. God damn, Ben. What you doing, man? Like, just,
all right, man. Come on now. Let him breathe. Let him breathe. Let's keep going.
So upset that people get mad, and what happens is this becomes a fraction in our party that doesn't have to be. Like, because what happened is the motherfuckers that think that he is genius over there that follow him will begin to start attacking these sisters and calling them, establishment. And they
shields, corporate shields.
Right. And I'm like, no, they ain't.
What do you call a person who goes in and votes for every fucking thing? They voted for the fucking CARES Act. They voted for them for the what's the reauthorization of the, what is that shit called again? Is it the NDAA one?
NDAA, yep. NDAA.
Yeah. Yep. Like they voted for all the money that fucking kept going to Trump for wars. Didn't they just vote for the last Pentagon budget? Hello. If you vote the same way as the establishment, then what the fuck are you? If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
and that's
it walks like a duck and quacks, quack, quack, quack. That's a duck, goddammit.
For me, had they not run on the things they ran on, especially Medicare for all, that was at the top of everybody's band, is Medicare for all. Had they not run on that, there would be no expectations. They set these expectations when they ran. This is politics 101, right? You set these expectations, and then people will push you on these expectations, and now it's like, don't pick on my friends. Get the fuck out of here. Exactly. But what you got, man?
That's what you ran on.
Yo, and beyond that, like I was telling Sam earlier, like, even if you don't have the power, you don't have the whatever, like the leverage to maneuver, you have the ability to use your popularity to go on all these different shows and tell people how you feel. Tell people how they are sabotaging your ability to make things happen.
Yep.
Like, and you don't see that. You only see these motherfuckers on Twitter. You don't, like, these motherfuckers could be on John Oliver. They could be on all these Jimmy Kimmel. They could be on all these goddamn shows that the average motherfucker can't get on and talk their shit. But they're not doing it.
Yep, that's true. John, what you got?
Yeah, Mud, that's true. That's true. Like, what do you call AMG? You know, I don't read well. You know, I don't read good. So, yeah, what do you call what the fuck? Like, is it using the bully pulpit, or is it using like when you
bully pulpit?
Using the bully pulpit.
Bully pulpit.
Yes.
So,
yes, nigga, political. Yeah, nigga, I gotta see. But anyway, though, they're not using the bully pulpit. That was the whole base of what the Justice Democrats are supposed to be doing. Like, we want to bring a new style of politics where we use the base. We just don't disband our base like Obama did. We use our base to go push their left wing shit, and they not doing it. They acting like Nancy Pelosi. You feel me? They just trying to cling on to power. That's not radical. You trying to cling on to power.
No,
Like,
not even power. It's trying to cling on to a job, right?
Yeah, real.
Right? A job that they got by running on what people are pushing them on. This is the thing that doesn't make sense.
Makes no fucking sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even understand this shit. This shit wild.
What you got, Sam?
My bad.
I got Chris Hedges. I got Chris Hedges, a man who is written for many years, has been in war-torn countries, has seen countries destabilized. And this is what he has to say about making powerful people fear you. Because Ben, you on some weak stuff. Like politics is a blood sport, baby. Like politics is a blood sport. Don't even say that shit.
She does.
Yeah, that's a blood sport. I think she did. Just in case she
created
did.
Created by our ancestors' blood. But go on, let's go.
There's a scene in Kissinger's memoirs, do not buy the book. So it's 1971, and Nixon, remember our last liberal president? Yes, he was. Not because he had a conscience or he was liberal, but because he was frightened of movements. OSHA, Mine and Safety Act, Clean Water Act, all came from Nixon. And he's standing at a window at the White House, and he's taken empty city buses and put them end to end around the White House, and he's looking out the window, and he says, Henry, they're going to break through the barricades and get us. And that's where people in power have to be. That's just where they have to be. And it's our job to put them there. And if you look back at American history, every leap toward justice and equality was made by movements that frightened the powerful. Julian Benda, the treason of the intellectuals. We have a choice in life between serving two sets of principles, privilege and power, or justice and truth. But every concession we make to those who serve privilege and power diminishes the capacity for justice and truth. We must hold fast to the moral imperative of justice and revolt. We must stand up. Because finally, revolt in an age like ours is about the capacity to affirm life itself.
That's it.
That's excellent.
That is it. And that's what Ben doesn't understand. He's basically saying we should just keep bending over and wait our time. There will never be a time. Yeah. Oligarchs have more money. There will never be a time. And 2022, if AOC and the squad don't make this happen, it's going to be a fucking bloodbath. I was saying this on Twitter today. I said it's about to be the red wedding. It's about to be the red wedding in 2022.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, again, the razor thin margin between Democrats and Republicans in the House is a perfect opportunity. The Progressive Caucus holds the tiebreaker in their hands if they function as a caucus, right? And
that's what you need. Like you have leverage. You finally have some leverage, and now you don't want to use it.
Yeah, and
this is a game.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because nobody knows. 2 years from now, I agree with you, Sam. 2 years from now, that if the Democrats keep going like they are, they're going to get slaughtered and lose the House. I get that, right? But right now, you have to use leverages in your hands. Yeah. Do I understand how it works that if you cross the Speaker of the House, she might start zeroing out your district when it starts coming to sending funds to your district and sending programs to your district? I get that. I get that 100%. But this is what you ran on. This is what you said you were going to do, right? Somebody comes with the strategy. You got to fight. Right?
And she talked big shit. She said she was going to be a fighter. AOC said that she was going to fight. That's what she said.
But at the same time, she's calling Nancy Pelosi Mama Bear. What do you do? What do you do? Right?
Because AOC's goal is to become the Latina Pelosi. She wants to run for president, but it's not going to happen. She wants to be the Latina
Pelosi. Knows she's phony
Pelosi.
now, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fake broad, but I always saw through that chick. And you'll see why, because this video turned me off to her a good solid year ago. But we'll get to it. Let's play some more.
Hold on,
I'm gonna wait till they really start
kicking. Let's see what John Mudd got. John Mudd, you guys got anything before we go forward?
Well, you know, I'm just thinking about this. Like, it's funny because right after or when Bernie was losing, Ben Dixon put up some tweet talking about he was gonna burn this motherfucker down or some goofy shit, talking real crazy.
Yeah, right.
And then like I have yet to see any follow-up to that tweet. And this is like months and months ago. Like, where the fuck is the action? Where is
he not about action? He about running his mouth.
I mean, and even like just applying pressure to motherfuckers. Like, where? I don't see.
I think we're being nice to Ben. I feel like Ben. This is. I feel like this is the most respectful we've been of anybody we've roasted.
That's true. We have been really nasty. Not me, of course. That was y'all.
Maybe it'll get worse as we go along, but so far I feel like he's getting treated with kid gloves. Because I really don't like to do black on black crime, but he gonna have to take a few punches at least. He ain't gotta murder him, but he gotta take a good ass whipping on this.
I mean, this is our show. We do what we do. Let's ride.
It ain't no strategy over there. Ain't no corporate shield. That shit is whack. It ain't no strategy in what you said to do at all.
They're big, bright idea, bro. Like, I will talk about it to this extent because one or two people said, well, Ben, can you explain what's wrong with their strategy and explain your strategy? I will do it again, but we've already done it, but I will gladly do it again. Number one, getting angry and lashing out is not a strategy. Lashing out in an attempt to make up for the fact that we did lose in 2016 and progressives lost 2016 and 2020, but lashing out is not a strategy. This is nothing more than a stunt to assuage their anguish. And they want AOC and the squad to utilize their political capital to make them feel good. That's what that strategy does, because there is no step two. There really is their step two. This is their grand step two. Step one, challenge Nancy Pelosi. Step two, make all of America see that Democrats don't really care about them. I don't think progressives have been paying attention over the last fucking 30 years. Do you need to force a vote on Medicare for all for you to be able to convincingly go out and say the Democratic Party don't care about you? Is that what you're waiting on? So it's ignorant on one side. And then on the other side, the strategy is...
Stop.
Damn it, stop.
All right. People have signed. People across the board, whether it be New Democrats / corporate Democrats, whether it be progressives, socialists, whoever, have signed on for Medicare for all. Right? They say they support Medicare for all. Some of them ran on it, and we knew they weren't really real about it. Putting this on the floor now, while we're in a pandemic. And you vote and let somebody vote against that shit and let that shit get out, right? There's no way to hide from that. There's no way to hide from that. I don't understand Ben's position on this, right? You say there's no step two. The step two is they're out on Front Street and we got a floor vote, and it might fuck around and pass. Right?
Lame ass AOC was like, well, you don't have to force a vote to where people stand. People are already co-sponsors. You know how many fucking people are co-sponsors on HR 40? I really want to see who's gonna vote for it.
Exactly.
And I had to fucking cyber harass my congresswoman to get her to sign HR 40. I literally harassed her for weeks.
And that's what I'm saying. The co-sponsors, I mean, when they sign on as co-sponsors, that's just cover. It's political cover. Right? So we got to blow their cover somehow. How do you get them to actually go through with this without forcing their hand in some way? It doesn't make sense to me. Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the shit that political ads are made of. Like, you can, like, the next election cycle, you can club any motherfucker over the head with this shit about how they didn't support this shit during the pandemic.
Hundreds of thousands.
People were 300,000 people dead, and you can't support Medicare for all. Preach, Mud. You got anything else for us?
Excellent, but also, like, even if they can't get that, this is a way you can leverage something out of Nancy Pelosi versus just not doing anything. Like even if it's like, okay, we're not going to do this, but what else can we do? Like there's not even any type of negotiation to get anything out of these motherfuckers when you have leverage. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I
John,
do.
what you got? What you got, John?
All right, I don't get the shit either. I don't understand what the fuck he's trying to say with this shit. Like, I mean, like, what is he wants a whole bunch of progressives just to get in power, just to eat. Like, you can't do nothing unless you got a majority. Like, what is he doing? Like, what is he saying? Like, you don't fight unless you got a majority, or what?
I guess in 2040 they're gonna have a majority and we're gonna win it all. I guess that's what's gonna happen.
By then, people will have broken into everybody's. By then, it'll be full on fucking The Walking Dead and shit around this bitch. Like, people gonna be scounging for food.
New strain of the coronavirus turns people to The Walking Dead.
I'll be laying out.
Not even thinking about the virus part. I was just thinking about how the whole shit is destabilized and you like walking around trying not to get murdered so you can find some food. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, this shit gonna be Mad Max around this motherfucker. Like.
Yeah,
people don't realize, people don't know history, because everything that's going on right now is how revolutions are created.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's let Ben go on, and so we can hear. He said he's going to talk about his strategy. So let's see if let's hear
what we've been talking about. Primary these bastards. We already know who they are. We already know who's not going to stand up for the Green New Deal. We already know who's not going to stand up for Medicare for all. We already know who's not going to actually stand up for liberation. Primary them. AOC has more capacity to primary like a dozen centrists than she does.
Stop. Mud just said it. It's easier to primary them if they.
He's contradicting himself, because he's like, what, you're going to show people that these are the like, yes, motherfucker, that's the whole point. Like, that's how you primary them. you convince motherfuckers that they're horrible by showing them fucking up, like, in America, one of America's like extreme situations where we got a pandemic where we can't even go outside and we can't get Medicare for all. We can't even get them to fucking vote on the shit. Like, yes, this is how you do that.
Yeah, and it helps you raise funds too. John Johnson voted against Medicare for all. Help Louis Jackson run for his seat. Right? I mean, the fucking ads write themselves. Sam, what you got? Sorry.
I got, to be honest, I'm just like, whatever, nigga. To be perfectly honest, everything he's saying to me is this is the thing, right? And I'm not gonna go hard on Tim Black, because when his stuff started happening, people started coming for him. When my people was like, well, are they doing this to him because he's Black? I said, that ain't none of our business. Because when the time was to advocate for Black folks, you wasn't pushing Bernie, and I don't care. Like, you wasn't on your show telling them white folks like, hey, listen, you know I'm with you. I know Bernie's what's best. But my people back here, they not listening. So you gonna have to give them reparations, or they're gonna sink our candidate. So it's not me. It's them.
But I'm the cautionary tale on that. See what happened to me when I did that shit.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't change the fucking thing. I did the right thing.
And that is the reason why when they started coming for Tim, I had nothing to say. Because if you won't stand up and take your L fighting for your people, I don't care. Especially you had a bad take. Your take is terrible. The same with Ben Dixon. So I'm not coming out and caping for no Negro when they wrong and they don't fight for. Now you want to fight for my people? We need you to fight before the damn election. We need you fighting a year ago when all of us were taking fucking arrows.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was taking them. I look like a porcupine. But again, I always say this when y'all pick on poor Tim. He did have Dr. Darity on his show twice. So I put that out there. But beyond that, I don't know.
Acknowledgement is not advocacy.
Yes, ma'am. See that?
Must ever stand a chance with challenging Nancy Pelosi. And by challenging Nancy Pelosi, she's going to diminish her capacity to primary those 10 centrists that she want to primary. Y'all don't got no goddamn sense.
Hold on. Ooh, when you said it, something just listen, I'm a whole political nerd. I don't know if people know it. I get super stupid.
You say it every Sunday. You say it every episode, but it's true.
So look,
go for it.
Ben, you just said something that blew my mind. And also is what's happening with Jimmy Dore is you are fucking being an exacting white privilege.
Exactly that.
You are guess what? And it's also some erasure happening. Y'all know I'm critical of.
See how people be stealing words?
Whoa.
Yes, he's saying that Jimmy Dore is exacting white privilege by demanding Medicare for all for Americans. This is why people don't fucking take racism seriously. Because people think
let him finish. Let him finish cooking, because I'm trying to let him say his whole piece.
I wish y'all could see MG. He look dumbfounded.
I'm trying to figure this out.
You got anything, Mud?
Nah, I'm just saying, like, I hate when they throw these fucking words out there. Like, it doesn't even mean anything when you use it like this. Like,
no, it's
supposed
to catch black people. They're trying to catch people. It's like the same thing Bree did when she did the hashtag AOS. They're trying to pull black people into backing them, but it's not going to happen because y'all don't represent us because you are not connected to our community like that. Nigga, you just moved to Boston. I know there's some black people in Boston, don't kill me, but.
I don't know about that, but go ahead.
I'm critical of everybody. I'm critical of AOC, the team that got
you
AOC.
criticize AOC plenty of times. Right. Yes, go ahead.
But to say that your way, that his way of to say that his tactic is the way to go at Nancy Pelosi is to discount all the shit that sister be doing and all the inside information she be leaking on her fucking Twitter account for everybody to have access to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He don't know the fuck that shit is stupid. Like, it's also saying that those sisters, the squad members, aren't already protesting. Right. They're already doing that. If you look at their Twitter, they're giving everybody the information for free. So why put
what is he talking? What are they talking about?
How does challenging Pelosi stop that?
He sounds like a poor.
This is some. I'm not gonna use that one. This is some. This is some. This is some step and fetch it kind of shit.
That's right better. That's much better.
These Negroes are dancing for a future dinner that they are hoping they will be invited to.
They're gonna get invited to the Justice Democrats barbecue in 2024.
I don't give a fuck.
They're gonna be on the grill too. Like, yo, go ahead, fry, go ahead, make them chicken breasts. Go ahead, do your thing, black man.
Did you season the chicken?
I don't. I hate to go out of fellow graybeard. What's this dude's name? Mondale Robinson. I hate to go out of fellow graybeard, but his point doesn't make any sense. Jimmy's white. Yeah, he has a lot of white privilege that's on display in everything he does. Right? It's just who he is. Right?
He's a white man. He's a white man from Chicago.
Yeah, he's a white man and the family full of cops. Right? So I mean, he that's who Jimmy is. Fine. Right? But in this case, he's pushing for Medicare for all. Key word in that is all. Right? He's trying to push people who ran on Medicare for all, won on Medicare for all, sent to Congress for Medicare for all. And now they got an opportunity to put Medicare for all on the floor finally.
And don't forget, they raised millions of dollars.
And thank you, Sam. They raised millions of dollars. Now it's time for them to put up or shut up. And they're telling people, leave AOC alone.
Leave Brittany alone. Please.
I had to just say, like, I had to stop this because I'm like, I don't want the listeners to get confused. No, they are not 3 new members of Race Reset Podcast. No, they sound just like he just said erasure for no reason. Like, man, that's white privilege and erasure. Who the fuck are you? Bro, I think I know about this dude. This dude, I think he does work in Atlanta registering black voters and shit like that. And if he does that work, that's fine. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Get the fuck out of here with this other shit, dog. Get the fuck out. Like, please register more black men to vote. Go ahead, bro. Please. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
They single white female. That's for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead, Mud. What you got, Mud?
Nah, I'm still stuck on the fact, like, look, we spend a whole lot of time, you know, trying to have conversations with white people about race, where we're talking about shit like that has substance. And it becomes hard when, you know, they create these buzzwords like white privilege, because then it becomes all about fighting about what does white privilege actually mean. And when motherfuckers like when motherfuckers do this, where like they are just using it callously to where it doesn't actually have any meaning anymore. Like you're undermining our ability to actually have discussions about race. Like you're really fucking it up for the rest of us, and fucking it up for what? What are we getting out of this conversation? Like we're not getting anything by protecting these people by saying this white privilege to if you criticize them. No, motherfucker, they're not doing anything for us anyways.
Yes, it's white privilege if you say anything negative. It's white privilege if you say anything negative about a Black or brown person. So they can be as wrong as can be, but you can't say nothing to them if you were white and they are Black and brown. If I was a white person, this is the shit. This is why I can't talk to white people about racism. If I was a white person listening to this shit, I would be like, so if I criticize them, it's because of white privilege. Y'all are some goofy motherfuckers. Like, that would just be a turnoff. And that's why they'd be like, y'all always crying about everything. Everything's fucking racist. I was watching this movie last night with my dude. No, it's not a movie. It's a show on Netflix called You. And there's this scene where the fat friend, she's an influencer. She's the fat friend. That's what they call her on the show. So don't get upset with me. That's what they called her on the show. And because she even said the fat girl, the fat funny girl, nobody cared. So they did a video, right? And she was like, you know, Black guys come up to me all the time and want to date me. She was like, but where are the white men who want a woman with a big butt? And they were calling that racist. There was this whole thing. She lost a bunch of followers. And then when the guy's talking to her, she's like, you know, you get a little drunk and you say something. And he was like, racism. It was not racism. A white woman with a fat ass saying she would like to find a white man who wants a fat ass is not being racist. She just likes white men. It's okay to like your own people. It's okay to like other people, but it's not racist to want to be with your own people.
Exactly. Everybody has preferences. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody has a preference. So now are we going to start forcing people to date everybody just so they won't be racist? It's This is why white people get pissed off, and y'all be like, why are they so insane? Because y'all say stupid shit that makes them crazy. This would make me crazy. Like. So I can't criticize these chicks because they're Black and brown. I can't force them to do their fucking job after I done sent them all this money. Because not just people from AOC's district sent her money. People have been sending this woman money from all around the country. And you were saying that you can't criticize people. Jimmy Dore put her on. He put her on. He put her on his show. Come on. So he's not allowed to criticize her after he put her on because she's brown? Man, get the fuck out of here.
It's not even like they're fighting over a policy that is for Black people. It's not even like why you pulling out this card and you're not even like dude, what the fuck, yo? Why the fuck do you, oh my god, I can't stand motherfuckers like this because they just make it hard for the rest of us.
Exactly.
This is wild. This is wild. Let's go on. I'm sorry. Let's go. Shit.
Put that pressure on them to do more. Take that information and call the Congress folk that ain't standing with them and tell them they need to get where they are.
Now, let me say this before I toss it to you. Let me toss it to you real quick, Marcus. Let me just put this on the screen. Since we're talking about it, this is the guy we're talking about.
Okay, so let me pause this. So how he said, get them to call their congressman, right? If this vote gets forced, right? And everybody knows that there's a Medicare for all vote coming up, because you know everybody gonna know because Jimmy's blasting it out. The whole white Twitter was, this is all white Twitter is talking about right now. And yes, white people, there is a white Twitter and a Black Twitter. So this is all white Twitter is talking about right now. Black Twitter ain't talking about this shit at all. We don't give a fuck. Like they don't. I don't see nobody really talking about this shit on our side. We don't give a fuck. So all white Twitter is ablaze, right? So the next step when they force the vote would be for everybody to call their personal congressman and say, you better fucking vote for this shit, or else in 2 years you gonna have to find a new fucking job.
You be a mailman.
Everything that they're saying, that, you know what I mean? Everything that they're saying, like, you're making points that would work if they force a vote.
Exactly.
Like, this is stupid. Like, it's just beyond stupid. And here we go. We about to start getting into this white man's house. So let him talk about this white man's house, and then I'm gonna jump in after that.
Jimmy Dore, political commentator Jimmy Dore buys a rambling LA compound for $1.9 million. This is the man who wants you to think that AOC, who was a bartender 3 years ago, is less progressive than his rich white fake social.
So it doesn't matter that this chick was a bartender 3 years ago. AOC did not grow up poor. She went to a decent school. She grew up in a decent fucking neighborhood. Do some fucking research. AOC did not grow up in the district. Huh?
He knows.
Yeah, she's just like Yorktown or some shit like that. So
did any of these three motherfuckers grow up poor? I want to know that.
I'm unsure. And Jimmy has damn near 100 subscribers on YouTube.
You mean 100,000?
100, and 900,000 followers on YouTube. Yeah, that is $1 million compound money. Sorry to break it to you, but that is $1 million compound money, and he's had them for a while. And he's a successful comedian. Right?
Thank you. How many years this man been a stand-up comedian for over 20 years? So he's supposed to work for 30, 40 years and not have nothing. And on top of that, first of all, $2 million in California is, especially LA, is not a lot of money. $1.2 million is a shack in certain upper white neighborhoods. It's not big. It don't have, like, this looks like he bought something decent. But
I mean, shit, he probably got to cut it. He probably got one of them white privilege deals. Somebody probably gave him a call.
On top of that, too, did they have another house that they sold? They probably sold the other house that they had for at least $1 million. Where he lives, because he lives in the valley.
Right,
yeah, I'm from LA. They live out in the valley where they live. The houses out there started like $1 million. A lot of them do. So at one point. And at the end of the day, why are you mad at this dude for making money? Like, I don't Jimmy Dore did not make his money selling out the people who gave it to him.
Nope.
So I don't give a fuck how he spends it. Jimmy fucking caters to his base. That's why we get on him, because he don't be talking enough to black people. Like, he skips over our plight. Like, I need you to start fucking talking about reparations.
But also
bring people on who do that. And can you start bringing on black activists that are actually fighting for black issues and not workers' issues? We have things we need to talk about, and we need your audience to fucking hear it.
But we got to remember that not to defend Jimmy, or like I was defending Jim Black, but yeah, I guess I am defending him in a way. But fuck it, he did offer to have Yvette and Tone on. I don't know what happened there, but I mean, this is what came through the grapevine anyway. He offered to have Yvette and Tone on, and it didn't.
That's
what
he said.
Out.
He said it on his show. I wish I could go back and find the show. He actually said it on the show, because somebody in the chat asked. They said, when will you have people on from the ADOS? He said I think he was like ADOS. He was like the ADOS movement, because he didn't know. And he was like, I reached out to their founders and I didn't hear anything back from them. So that is their right. They can choose not to, whatever. That's fine. That's their right.
But he offered.
There's other people, though. There's other people,
that's what I'm saying.
You can get Sandy Daddy like Tim Black did. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
And they can talk to black activists that are fighting for black issues. Because
I want Jimmy to have Sam on the show. I would
love to go on Jimmy's show. We would have so much fun. But I want to go after coronavirus. I want to go after coronavirus.
You want to be on the show
because I want to sit so me and Jimmy can smoke a few and have some good conversations. He needs a good Negro in his life.
He sure does.
But for real, shit, you know how I am. You know, I have affinity. And the thing about Jimmy is Jimmy cares about poor whites. I care about poor whites. I just need him to care about poor blacks too. And I think he thinks he does, but he's not advocating the way he needs to. Yes, I think that. I think that's what I think about him. Maybe that's why I don't go hard in the paint against him. I don't feel like it's malicious.
Yeah, that's what I get too.
Well,
I'm glad we agree on somebody.
Though, man. He still got to turn up. But yeah, he still got to turn up. But I'm not going to defend Jimmy or Ben Dixon. I think this both just shows like how the left. You got the black people on the left. They being bodyguards for the squad. And then you got Jimmy, he's talking all this wealth.
They Simone Sanders out here.
Word up. They being bodyguards for the squad. They being Pokemon.
Sorry, Bo.
They being Pokemon for the squad. And then you got Jimmy and shit that he living, you know what I mean? He living a decent life. And I want to know when the socialist revolution comes, is he gonna give up his shit too? Like, I mean, that's why the left is just like this shit. They bugging out, man. They all bugging out, bro. This shit is all fucked up, man. And Ben Dixon, they ain't making it no better. They making it worse for niggas, man. So,
all right, let's play some more.
I just want to say one thing real quick though.
Go ahead, Mike.
Like, this is the attack, but when they was doing it to Bernie Sanders, they didn't fuck with that shit. When they was talking about Bernie Sanders homes and all that shit, like you
remember that? Yeah, that's right.
Preaching.
That's a good point, bud. That's a
you know
good
what I'm
point.
saying? These
3
motherfuckers
hours,
is
Bernie
hypocrites.
Sanders.
These motherfuckers is hypocrites, yo.
Hypocrites, man.
That's real talk. Damn, where did I drop my cigar? Damn it. All right, let's go.
Socialist ass. Fuck all of you. Fuck Jimmy Dore. Fuck everybody who thinks like him. You are not the left. You're not a real progressive. Get the hell behind me.
All
Bitch
right.
asses.
So, and we can use that version.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody getting behind you, brother, because you're not a leader. Who do you lead? Who is your movement? That's it.
We've already established that Jimmy's strategy is, while it is a Hail Mary, it's necessary because we don't.
It's
there's no other. It's something, right? We don't have any. We don't have any other leverage. Once Pelosi's in office, once she gets that gavel, it's a wrap. She's gonna do what the hell she wants to do, like she always does. This is and Ben said it earlier. We know the Democrats don't give a fuck about anybody, right? So why should we should give a fuck about their feelings, right? And then as a follow-up, his strategy is horrible. His strategy is primary everybody, but this strategy makes it easier to primary everybody. Get them on fucking record. That's the easiest way to start primarying people. Get them on record. Get them on record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get them on public record and primary that ass, right? That's how you do it. And it won't be just the 5 or 10 folks that they plan on targeting, right? It'll be 20, 40, 50, right? Then we got some action, pimping. Then we got some action.
Facts.
Exactly.
John, what you got, man?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel like they talking about primary people. Like they've been primarying people since 2000. I mean, for good. What is it? What is it now? Since AOC became, that's their new strategy. Like real shit. So it's like they got 4 first, now they got 7. That we don't
play nice in primary. That's a strategy.
That's what I'm saying. Like yo, we don't. Do you understand the type of time? Do you understand what type of time? We don't got no fucking time for this. Like. Especially black people, reparations, like you feel me? Like, you understand? We don't got this. We don't got that much time, bro.
Yeah, we're a different level of urgency.
Go ahead, keep going, John.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not he's acting like, you know what I mean? Like, and get off of Mud's point, when Bernie Sanders was doing all this bullshit, we ain't see you talking about reparations right now, Bernie. You wasn't in his ear. You was all like, yo, real talk. When motherfuckers, you was coming at Bernie Sanders' ass, like, man, this motherfucker anti-black. Where's his black agenda at? Ben Dixon probably you want to cut, and you was fake protecting them too. Like, you know what I mean? Like now you gun ho now because Joe Biden the president now. You gun ho. Come on, man.
And the gag is because they'll bring up reparations in a minute, but when they start talking about forcing Pelosi to do reparations, Pelosi's not for reparations. We got that memo 2 years ago. That came down. We know she's not for that shit. So she's a problem for black people too. So it behooves us to force that bitch's hand. Because if they can force her hand for this, they can start forcing her hand for all the other shit we need. Yep. Because it is time for Congress to do their job, and that is to legislate.
Yep.
They haven't been doing their job these past they haven't been doing their job forever. It's been a long time since they've done their fucking job. If you did your job like this, you'd be fired.
There needs to be a list of first 100 day shit. If you want our vote to hold that gavel, Nancy, this is your first 100-day list. If you can't sign on to this publicly, fuck you. You won't get that gavel. Find somebody else.
Yep.
Period.
Time for your old ass to give it up anyways.
Exactly. You ain't done shit.
You can call me an ageist all you want, but I think there should be term limits and age limits.
Yeah, and
I think they should lower the age. I think they should lower the age that you can run for Congress. And then I think they should have a cutoff. I feel like 65, like 60, 65 should be the cut. Actually, 60, I feel like 60 should be the cut because the world is for the young.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I don't think it's about how old they are, but it's about allowing young people to move into these spaces, right? Because
Yeah,
the world
they can't keep these
changes.
seats forever. Exactly.
Yeah, the
And I
world
say this
changes.
as a
You get some younger people
35-year-old.
in these spaces. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I say this as a 35-year-old who is next year going to start training a 20-year-old protege because she has more to lose than I do. She's going to fight harder for herself and her people because she has to. Because if she doesn't fight, she has nothing. No, I'm just saying, if she doesn't fight, she'll have nothing.
And as all you guys know, I know I'm an older dude. I'm not in this. I'm not going to be in this fight forever. Everything I try to build is to hand off to people who's going to continue the fight. Right? And that's how I view all this stuff. Right. So what I stand up is not about me. It's about, of course, it's about my children and my grandchildren, right? Because I want to build a better world for them in whatever little ways that I possibly can. But this is not honestly, this is not my fight, right? I'm a Gen X dude. This is this is about over for me, right? So as far political activism terms, right? So it's time for people. It's time for us to stand up platforms and set things up for these younger folks who are courageous and educated and ready to fight, like you guys that are ready to get down and fight this fight the way it should be fought, and this take no prisoner style that Jimmy's talking about, because that's the only thing they're gonna respect.
I agree.
I'm
with Jimmy on this one.
I am too. I mean, it's logical. Mud, what you got?
No, I mean, I agree with the whole take no prisoner style, because like, look, we've played this game of just waiting for motherfuckers to come around and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That
Hillary
doesn't
Clinton
work.
was talking about Medicare for all in the 90s. I was a fucking kid when Hillary Clinton was talking about this shit. So we still talking about this shit, and I'm a grown ass person.
That's like 5 for 15. Should be 25, folks.
And then listen, AOC, if you say 5 for 15 one more time, bitch, when we talk about Medicare for all, first of all, $15 an hour is poverty wages. Didn't you just come from being a bartender? You know better than that. Jesus Christ, let me tell you.
She was a bartender.
I cannot with y'all.
Man, you can't. She was a bartender in New York City. $15, man. You can't even live in the projects with that shit in New York City, man. What the fuck? You can't even live you can't live nowhere, man. You're gonna be at the shelter making $15 an hour in New York City. For real. What they talking about? Being in the shelter with a whole full-time job about this bitch. Like,
and that's why it's like at this time, if you're not saying 25 an hour, you can get out of my face because you're not serious. We've been fighting for 15 for 10 years. That was 10 years ago that people wanted $15. Everything costs more. Y'all get on my nerves. I just cannot.
Y'all so mean to the people.
I cannot, because these people are just not serious. They are not serious. Like, I see what Ben is, and Ben is he is making a calculation that the establishment is always going to be in charge. But what he doesn't understand is shit is about to change. In the next 4 years, it's gonna change, and you on the wrong side, bruh. Like, this is what I like about what's happening right now on the left. You're starting to see real lines drawn, because before everybody could kind of hide in this shit, but now you're really starting to see where the lines are. Some of y'all really don't care about poor people like that, and then we gonna get to where they try to segue this and try to throw reparations in with this. But why would you?
Please tell me they don't do that. Please tell me.
Oh, you didn't watch this yet?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
I'm not gonna tell you nothing.
That is an acceptable usage of the word. Listen. You don't. He has.
You said you was gonna watch it in the morning. That's why
that was my plan. You know how it happens to my plan.
It's a house that's worth 10 times as much as her annual salary, and he's trying to ask her to use what she's worked on, building political capital, to sacrifice it for his clicks. I will fight, bro. Y'all don't know me. We ain't out here talking this shit. We living this shit. Try it. Y'all see my kids in this house? I'll fight everyone.
My biggest issue with this whole thing is that
I'm mad that you laughing at them, but my whole thing is that's why you there. The point of people putting you in office is to advocate for the issues, for the reasons why they put you there. If you don't do it, they should put someone else there.
Yeah, you put it on. They put it on their platform, and people trying to hold them to it. What the fuck? All right, go ahead. Y'all be careful now. Ben is mad. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, you don't want him to fight one of y'all.
Mondale, you so goddamn stupid, bro.
Marcus,
he's doing his rookie.
Hey, listen,
on him, bro.
the problem that I have with the whole argument off top is this is a white man asking black and brown people to risk their careers, right? So this is the center of my argument for the 9th time.
Okay.
If we're going to risk our careers,
let's stop. All right. First of all, if they lose their current job in Congress, they'll get a pension, lifelong pension, right? Let's be clear about that. Okay. And I think it's their full salary in Congress. I think. All right. So that's number one. Number two, this isn't a regular job. People voted for you to have this job. People voted for you because of Medicare for all, because it's uber popular. You can't say it's not part of why you got in there, right? So you're in Congress at the service of the people, right? If you got a regular everyday job and you trying to protect your job, I got you. I got you. If you built a career somewhere and you trying to keep that job, don't keep your head down, keep grinding, especially if you black. Keep grinding. I got you. But you're in office. You ran on this. And people are trying, you're supposed to be different from these other folks, right? So you want progressive voters who put you in office on these issues to start acting like Democrats, where Democratic voters, regular Democratic voters, or establishment Democratic voters are just put people in office and don't watch them and don't force them to do what they're supposed to do, right? So this goes back to my theory that the current left in the United States is not about change. Only change they're about is changing who's in charge. They just want to be in charge of the same mess. That's all that is, right? So that's my 2 cents on that. Anybody else got anything on that?
I'm a little bit conflicted because I know what he's going to say next.
Yeah, don't say anything yet.
All right, we let him finish.
But
just don't give it away.
Okay.
Something coming next? Oh shit!
Oh, it's gonna get good. No, MG, your mind is gonna be blown.
Oh shit!
They gonna blow your mind, MG. Because when I heard it, I said, "What the fuck?"
All right. I'm glad y'all warned me. Go
ahead, man. Go ahead.
But I want to say, like, how are they gonna lose their jobs? Who is voting them out? Like. Most like AOC, like she's safe. There's no.
Yeah, she won her district by like 72% or some shit. You don't get no safer than that. Like she's super safe.
So are they saying that if they push this issue for Medicare for all, they're gonna lose their support in their districts? Like what the fuck are they even talking about?
You mud talking all this sense.
Now, as far as like being pushed to the side while they're in Congress. Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. But they're not going to lose their seats in fucking Congress by taking up this fucking fight.
That's right.
So that's basically it.
Karen Bass told me that bullshit. Like how they be talking about, if they do, they'll be marginalized, right? So I had a meeting with Karen Bass, the head of the congressional.
Anyway. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The head of the Congressional Black Caucus. She won't be next for the next session, but she was for this one. And she basically told us that she can't fight for us because if she does, she'll be marginalized and she won't be able to do anything. But she doesn't do anything for me and my people now. So what's the fucking difference?
It is.
And that heifer still, I'm never going to forgive her for saying that we need to import more Africans because Black American birth rates are low. So instead of talking about how we were going to get Black American men jobs so they could afford to have families, how we were going to get Black American men out of prison, rehabilitated and into jobs so they can afford to have healthy families, you were telling me about how we need to import more Africans. What does that have to do with Black Americans? Those are two different conversations. So I don't have a problem with you bringing in more people from other places if that's what the immigration policy is, but don't conflate that with my people and our struggle because that's not the same thing. I came to talk to you about American Descendants of Slavery. They definitely don't conflate it with us
either. And the African community knows we're different. I mean, I don't know why this is. Anyway, go ahead.
They done wore me out on Clubhouse with that. I don't even want to talk about that shit no more. I'm so over them. I love all my people. Well, I love all ADOS people and people of color. I love you if you love me, and I love poor whites because I think, you know, some of y'all are still family and shit, you know, slavery. So
some blood ties there.
So there's some blood ties around here. So, you know, we may not love all of our family, but we be having to fight shit out. But sometimes we got to come together to fight as a family to make shit better. But I'm so over all those diaspora wars and stuff on Clubhouse. I'm so tired of Africans telling me that if for Black people to get something that we all got to come together. Y'all are 6 million people out of 337 million. If you want to fight with us, I'm with it, but I'm gonna go fight. I'm gonna go find me some poor whites.
Yeah, we got to prioritize our people.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking for allies, it makes sense to go to get as many as possible. There's 237 million white people. That's a big pool. We don't need all. What?
Yeah,
10
but
million?
I mean, most of the African
we'd be good.
Most of the African community understands that we're in a different boat. We're in a different situation. We just happen to have the same color skin, right? And that's it. So I mean, most of them understand that. A lot of them feign that they don't. So, but they do. They know we're different.
I want to switch the conversation back to Ben. We'll have to do it. We'll have to do.
Yeah, we'll do a show on that. John, what you got?
Oh yeah, what they was talking about? Oh yeah, they was talking about how. Hold on, what this? I forgot what this dude was talking. This dude was talking about.
No, let's go. Let's keep going because he's about to say some bullshit. Let's just keep going.
Sure.
If we're asking people, if we're asking the force of floor vote that would literally risk their power and their politics, then guess what? Make it for reparations.
Yep, they won't do
right?
that. They won't.
Why? Because you're asking Black and brown people to do something. So we're gonna do that for our own interest. So again, if anyone is asking to force a floor vote, anyone in America, the only floor vote that needs to happen to be forced upon is a reparations package for Black and indigenous people. That's it.
Oh no.
Y'all go ahead because we're gonna be in 10 minutes of clips because I'm pulling receipts for this shit. So go ahead. So everybody say what they gotta say because I got receipts. I got a video, I got everything, y'all. I was up all night. Let John go first. John was popping.
Go ahead, John.
Go,
what
John.
What is he talking? Yo, what did he just? He's bugging out, bro. What the fuck? I was with him, listening to him. I was like, all right, let me see. Okay. I was like, but indigenous people too. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker did it. Why they fucking keep doing this shit? Man, listen, man. I think that's just funny as a motherfucker. First of all, where was these motherfuckers at when we was fighting for reparations this whole time? They wasn't around.
Oh, they were calling us xenophobes. That's what they were doing. They weren't actually looking at the arguments, the actual arguments that I have written about several times. They were calling us xenophobes, trying to shut the conversation down.
Definitely, like real talk. Defending Bernie, talking about something, y'all not really for change. Y'all attack the only person that can change shit. They can't win, and
it's a right-wing funded effort to fight for reparations. Okay. GOP for reparations. Get the squad out there. Yeah. Okay. Whatever, motherfucker.
But the way that he just slid in indigenous people, like what the fuck type shit. See that's the problem with this shit, man. The black people on the left, see that's the POC coalition shit, and the Black people on the left
doesn't exist.
They're just being a proxy. It doesn't exist. There's no real multicultural working class coalition in this country. Black people don't have a working class. We got a hurting class. You know what I'm saying?
Nice,
class,
nice, John. That is a bar. That is a
hurting class. We got poor people, a hurting class, and then everybody else that's and then a few motherfuckers at the top. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck indigenous people, like what? Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Can I read this real quick? This is from Kim Tallbear on Twitter, @Kim Tallbear. Biden and other clueless white Dems need to stop bringing Native peoples into reparations convo. We have treaty and other rights. Reparations is not our avenue. They show their historical and legal ignorance while they try to deflect from Black people's demands. Go ahead, MG. I know you had some words.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure your clips are going to cover it. But this is not a coalition that exists, right? Indigenous people deserve what they deserve, right? We deserve what we deserve. And they're already getting what they deserve. We haven't been addressed at all, right? at all. All right, but again, this is what we talked about earlier. We're much further advanced in this conversation than they are because they shut us out 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actively shut us out 2 years ago, right? And just
well,
like
I guess they're gonna learn since they're watching our show.
they're gonna learn today. But like I said before, all you got to do is read what I've written over the last 2 years, and you'll be pretty much caught up. And follow the links, of course, right? Because I give credit to the people that I get information from, right? And I don't and in addition to that, I don't mind if people use my work. I like it when people use my work. That's the reason why I wrote it. All right. So anyway,
Did palm trees just roll up in my room?
Anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys handle it from here.
See I said I was conflicted before because, like, I actually like that energy because, I'm reparations before I'm, Medicare for all, and I think that some of these motherfuckers like Cori Bush, she's talked about reparations, and maybe
she also said people of color during slavery. So I don't trust her.
This is the problem though. This is what I'm about to get into. Like, Cori Bush is, she's probably I guess her and Presley are the two ones that are out there the most right now that people know about that are actually ADOS.
Yeah.
AOC is not, like, why would she be pushing for reparations instead of Medicare for all? Why would Ilhan
Because she wants to
Omar?
shoehorn Latinos into it.
Yeah, but like, from our perspective, we don't want them to be doing that for, that purpose. We want them to do reparations for ADOS, and they're not going to sacrifice their jobs to do reparations for us if they're not willing to sacrifice their jobs to do Medicare for all. That doesn't make any motherfucking sense. Right. So, like, it's a thing where, like, yeah, we need to have motherfuckers willing to use that leverage, but we can't just be saying that it's everybody is like the same when you like group motherfuckers like black and brown people. You're asking black and brown people to risk their jobs so they should just do it for reparations. And it's like, I get that sentiment.
Yeah, I get that sentiment too. I want to dip in right quick. I get that sentiment too, but I think it's a red herring, right? They're just throwing stuff out there to make it seem like what they're saying isn't crazy, but it is crazy, right? So, but I think to what you're saying, Mud, this goes back to what I was talking about before. There should be a list of policies. This is your first 100 days, Nancy Pelosi, if you want our votes, right? And you don't have to, matter of fact, you can prioritize them as you choose, right? Right. This is your first 100 days. If you want the gavel, this is your first 100 days. If you don't give us this the first 100 days, we can even sit down and negotiate. We'll throw some stuff in there that really don't fucking matter, right? If you know about negotiations, right? So here's your first 100 days, and we'll knock it, and we'll have like 25% as a giveaway, right? But some shit we're not going to take. Some shit we're not going to take shorts on. Give them this list, and then you go. You know what I mean?
Right. I think what I was trying to say is that, like, they're making it seem like they should fight for this because this is something that they're going to benefit from also, which is not the case. Like,
exactly. Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and AOC, none of them are eligible for reparations.
Word.
Period.
So
none of them.
Not ADOS reparations.
Hell no, they get nothing.
Not ADOS reparations. Exactly. And that's the reparations they're supposed to be talking about right now.
Yeah, and
y'all are not going to get to co-opt reparations. You will not turn reparations into people of color. You will force the government to do wealth redistribution like they're supposed to and get your money. But you're not taking a cut of my money to do that.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, but that's,
you're going to go get your own money.
That's like the narc position, kind of everybody with black skin, right? It's at the end of the day, what it is, it undermines
whether former slave or slave trader. Because a lot of these people who are over here descend from slave traders. And you can be mad about it all you want, but I asked my best friend who's Ghanaian American if she descends from slave traders. She told me she didn't know, but if she found out, she'll let me know.
But I mean, if you got money over there and your region was heavy on slave trading, there's a good chance, right? There's a good chance. Just want to put that out there. Or you were in an industry that had something to do with it. Right.
It's not like we wouldn't still be friends. I just feel like it's
Yeah,
a good
it doesn't
conversation
change
to
our
have.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because she checked people about disrespecting Black Americans all day, every day. Because she gets into a lot of rooms that Black Americans can't get into.
And see, that's ally right there. That's what I'm talking
about. Because they'll try to be like, oh, you're a good Negro. And she'll be like, no. This is what happened. She's like, first of all, both of my parents had an education, blah, blah. And she'll go through the list. Oh, my parents had an education. I went to these schools. I lived in these neighborhoods. On top of that, I didn't experience these things growing up. This is not in my lineage. My people didn't experience slavery, Jim Crow. Like, my girl will give you the business. Don't talk crazy. Don't talk greasy about my people in front of my homegirl. You'll get checked as if I was there. I have taught her a lot over the past 8 years.
You go, girl.
But so he was talking about AOC, right? So let's play AOC talking about reparations, right? Bree asked her about this last year.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, Bree's on our radar too. Eventually,
there we go.
So we'll talk about Bree after Ben does. So that comes up at the end. So I am going to talk about her in this clip though because she let this shit slide. Hold on, where's
to John's point? Also, like he said this earlier, like if this is the stand that they want to like make right now, they should have been making this stand. Honestly,
when Bernie
during the primaries.
When Bernie was running, if they would have got Bernie to do this, we would all be about to have Medicare for all, a federal jobs guarantee. I would have been getting my reparations, like fucking student loan forgiveness. I would have been running. I'm rich, bitch. I would have been out this motherfucker. I would have been good to go. But instead, we got Joe. Nothing fundamentally is gonna change Biden, and that is on y'all because it wasn't for us to support Bernie. It was for Bernie to give us something for us to support him.
Exactly.
We don't owe y'all nothing. Okay, let's rock. So this is AOC on reparations. You gonna want to pull out your eyes.
If we live in a country that's still 70% white, which is a number that I think shocks a lot of people, but if you include white Hispanics, it actually is that big, who often vote similarly to non-Hispanic whites. You know, what as a political cost, let's say, of saying we're going to throw your hat in with a program like reparations, how much do you think those considerations should be made?
Well, you know, it's a good question. I think that one of the things that we've seen from early polling actually is that I think that we should distance ourselves and start getting away from this idea that we should only care about ourselves. Because when we really do start to assert and believe and understand and see how our destinies are tied, we kind of get away from this idea that only, you know, people of color care about other people of color and only white people care about other white people and so on. There are a lot of systems that we have to dismantle, but also it does get into this interesting area of where we are as a country about identity, because like, what does it mean to be Black? Who is Black and who isn't, especially as our country, what does it mean to be Black? Who is Black and who isn't, especially as our country becomes more biracial and multiracial, because like, what does it mean to be Black? Who is Black and who isn't, especially as our country becomes more biracial and multiracial. Same thing with being Latin.
All right, guys. So this is actually going to go into part 2. So if you want to see how we're going to roast the fuck out of AOC, definitely check out our next episode coming out tomorrow. And if you're not catching this, if you're catching this in a replay, make sure you check out part 2, because y'all are going to hear us go in on AOC, because y'all just heard what she said, and that was some straight bullshit. So like, follow, subscribe, resetrace.org is coming soon. Make sure you follow all of us on Twitter except for MG because Twitter was hating. And make sure you follow me at the Clubhouse at me27trillion because I want to talk to people who want to have these reset race conversations. Like, I'm interested in people who are interested in building some kind of coalitions, but ones that are actually run off of around reparations. So I'm looking forward to the discussion. So again, this is going to be fun. Y'all better check out this next episode because it's going to get wild. Like, this was just the start.
Listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put it back on the grill again, we grilling them. Back on the grill again, we grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. AOC need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake. Lineage go back to U.S. Southern plantations. Lineage, Jim Crow and mass incarceration. Redlining lynchings. We are old from this nation. You're not about justice if you ain't for reparations. MG the wise one, cousin mother intellectual. Samantha bringing fire, anti-black, we pressing you. No permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The backbone of the country to win. You need our energy. You gon' see. Listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Back on the grill again, we grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. AOC need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake.